Shout out EmEzs and tune in to the sit down.
Doesn't do it easy. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, here we go. Yes, it's another installment, another session, another round of the sit down. It's your main man, EmEzs, and the well-dressed man sitting next to me is Duckie Confetti. You're a designer, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay, tell me some of the people that you've designed for.
Well, I'm, pretty big in the hip-hop community. I've done French Montana, I've done Fab, I've done Cardi B, I've done Beyonce, I've done Tiana Taylor. It's a lot.
Do these people reach out to you? How does this work?
Normally, I've been blessed. Everybody's normally reached out to me. It's always not really a design, me and a stylist type of relationship. It's always me directly with the artist. Mm-hmm. So I've been lucky to work with these people directly, and I have their personal contacts. We have personal relationships.
How do you build those relationships before you get a chance to meet them?
It's just about your brand and what you represent. I think that's important, because a lot of people, they've come to me because they've seen, things that I've done, my personal style. So, of course, that makes an artist come to me because, they see somebody that's well-dressed. They have furs, they have this. And I also have a lot to offer. I have women's clothes. I have women's dresses. I have men's coats. I have men's jackets. I have furs.
Now, when you say you have, are these pieces that you've made?
Pieces that I make, yeah.
Okay.
It's part of my brand, which is Confetti.
Mm.
So, I have a lot to offer. So, I'm able to do men's and women's, which is good. So, that's kind of what pulls everyone in.
What got you into fashion, I guess?
Well, I always had a love for fashion, just my personal style. And designing was just something that I kind of shied from as a kid because I was always creative in other areas, like interior design. I tried, like some people that do like the window displays that like sacks and stuff like that. All of that stuff I've tried, but it was never successful as like the fashion. So I just stuck with the fashion and it just kind of unfolded.
Okay. Duckie Confetti's in the building. It's the sit down. It's your main man, EmEzs. Now, this Cardi B for Cruella DeVille. I'm sorry, I couldn't pronounce that. How did you come up with that?
Well, they actually hit me the day before, and her stylist told me that they was trying to recreate a look for her, which was Cruella DeVille for Halloween, and they needed a black and white fur. And at the time, I didn't have a black and white fur. I had a white fur. So what I did was just added black fur on top of a white fur, and we created the look, and she ended up wearing it.
Now, how long does it take you to make some of these custom pieces?
Well, a fur normally like 2 weeks, but like a jacket or something for like Fab or somebody, or like a dress with Tiana, I can probably do it in a day. What's
the most expensive piece you've sold?
The most expensive piece I've sold was, I don't know.
You don't know?
Like a fur jacket, probably. Last year I sold a mink jacket for $5,800. Mm. I mean, it just depends on whatever they want.
Wow. Oh shit, getting that bread. Duckie Confetti is to sit down at your main man, EmEzs. Talk about what Drea rocked of yours.
Oh, Drea. I created sequence jerseys. So I came up with this idea to make like jerseys for where like you could put your name on it and a number. And at the time, well, it still is, she's dating Orlando from the Cowboys or whatever. So I just pitched her the idea of, getting his name, getting her name with his number on a sequence jersey in royal blue. And I sent it to her and she wore it. But prior to that, I've always worked with Drea. She's worn my dresses. She worn, a lot of my stuff.
Mm. And where do you think, where do you get your sense of style from?
Will originally or just as
you were like what right. Spawned this outfit this morning?
Well, now I just kind of just do whatever I feel like putting on. I just put it on, and then luckily people like it. But my whole sense of style came from like growing up. My aunt had like friends who did it, like a lot of rappers and stuff like that. So I've always been around like the 90s rappers, and I've always had a love for like 90s hip hop and 90s R&B. So, like the Diddy's and all of that. So they like played the fur and the flashiness and all of that stuff. So that's kind of like where my style kind of came from. But I still have that style in me. But, now I just pretty much just do whatever I want to do.
Now, shout out to Safari. Safari's out here wearing furs and minks and all sorts of stuff every time I see him. Has he came to see you yet?
His stylist did reach out to me last year, but at the time I didn't have his size or something like that was going on. So we didn't get to work with each other, but I'm sure it will be something.
Now, give me some difficulties you come through trying to style certain people or find certain things.
They're so last minute. Like,
what do you mean?
Everything in fashion is just last minute. Like, for instance, I actually did you see Beyonce doing the Little Kim remake?
Yes.
I actually got a call to get a green fur. But they called me on Friday night. It was like 8:00 at night. And I was on my way to the Cardi B's thing. And they're like, oh, we need a lime green fur. But they didn't say, her stylist didn't say Beyonce, but of course I knew. She was like, we need a lime green fur and blah, blah, blah. We need it to LA by tomorrow. But it was just too last minute. FedEx, they stopped at a certain time. I was already on my way to the event in Brooklyn. It just was, so the last minute stuff is just like a lot.
Do you hate missing out on the last minute stuff?
Of course. Something like that, of course, I hate missing out on. The Cardi B thing, I almost missed out on because I didn't have a black and white fur, but I made it work. It's just always last minute. Like, they never give you like a week's notice or not even 2 days. But, for the most part, I've always been able to have a good turnaround time. I have a really good tailor and stuff like that who work with me. So I've been lucky to be able to do it. Even when I did Beyonce for the Made in America tour, that was like 2 days before Made in America. They wanted a sequence jersey for the Made in America tour, and I ended up doing that. I had basically like 6 hours to do it.
Duckie Confetti's in the building. To sit down. Give me an artist or celebrity that you would never work with again.
Oh God. Artist or celebrity.
You don't have to tell me why you won't work with them if you don't want to, but give me one artist that you would.
I don't want to do, because I cross paths with these people. So like my main thing that I tell everybody who's designing or who's doing something with people, you never burn your bridges. Like, even if they burn a bridge with me, it's always come back to where I'm around them and they're around someone that I'm working with. So I would never do that.
So you mean to tell me you've never had a bad encounter with somebody where you're like, I'm not dealing with this nigga or this bitch ever again?
I have, but I've also had a bad experience with someone, and they was with someone that I was working with, and they apologized and we patched things up. So it's like I don't even want to put salt on that situation because I just never know when that situation
will come back around. Politically correct right now.
Yeah, you got to be correct because
you got a fur. What you mean you got to be politically correct though? What you mean?
This stuff means nothing. Like, my reputation and the way people speak of my name and stuff like that. It means way more than this fur and all this other stuff.
Have you ever gotten to a situation at a party where someone spilled a drink on your fur and you went crazy? Nothing like that?
No, but a long time ago, I told this story at a panel thing I did. A long time ago, before I was able to actually afford furs, I had older friends, and I borrowed one of my older friends' coats. And this was like in like 2000 and maybe like 6 or something like that. I was at a club and somebody cut the fur up. I got some razor blade.
Did you have beef with this? Oh, so this was like a fur person with the paint.
No, it wasn't PETA. It was just somebody.
PETA, that's the word.
It was just somebody in a club. They just cut my
So no. I can't. No. It's not just somebody in the club cut. Like, why?
I have no idea.
You picked me out of the club because I had a fur on?
People wasn't really wearing furs back then like that. Like in the early 2000s, they were, and then it was like a period of time where people like stopped. Like 2001, 2, 3, 4, they kind of stopped. And then now with like all the Gucci Mans and all the Fabs and all of that, now people wear fur, but people wasn't really wearing fur back then like that. So I was basically like the only guy in the club with a big fur coat. It was white, it had a hood on it. Somebody just like
I've been looking for that same exact white fucking fur forever. So you ain't put hands on this person? I
didn't know it was cut until I got in the car. Like, when I got in the car and sat down, like, I felt it, like, open up. And I'm like, what the fuck?
And that's not even your coat?
It wasn't my coat.
Y'all niggas is crazy. Y'all niggas is crazy. Somebody's got to. What?
It wasn't my coat.
This is a fur, fam. No, nah,
It's horrible.
no. Wow. I'm still flabbergasted. Y'all niggas not touching my fur like that, and I don't. You crazy.
If I would have known they was cutting my fur, of course, would have been a different story. But I didn't know. That's what happens when you refer to the hood parties.
I wouldn't know. Duckie Confetti's in the building. It's your main man, EmEzs. Any last words? Any tips? Any fashion tips you want to give everybody?
Fashion tips.
You know what? Fuck that.
I do.
My man don't like my jeans. What's wrong with my jeans, man?
Are those on Mary jeans?
No, I don't know what brand they are. He hated on my jeans.
I mean, they're cool, but I would have just did all black with it. Like a black Tim would have been nice. And just a regular black sweatshirt. I mean, less is more. It depends.
He ain't saying nothing about my jeans, though.
No. I mean, they're cool. I wouldn't personally wear them.
Oh, see, now we're conversational. I got fashionistas kicking my back.
No, they're nice jeans, but I wouldn't personally wear them. And then I would just did a black Tim with it, all black.
I set myself up for this one. You're right. Well, I appreciate you for coming.
I appreciate you.
Thank you for coming through. You want to tell them your Instagram or how to get in contact with you?
My Instagram is Duckie_Confetti. That's DUCKIE _confetti. My showroom is here in Manhattan, 38 from Broadway, Midtown. I have furs, I have jackets, I got dresses, I got everything. Vests, scarves, earmuffs.
A young lady
flippers.
that's kind of special to me just had a birthday. I might come see you for
That'll be dope. Come.
She sees this before I get the fur. My problem. Anyways, Duckie Confetti, thank you for coming through. It's the sit down.
Thank you. Bye.
Shout out EmEzs and tune in to the sit down.
Gotta do it easy. That's what I'm doing.